What fucking asshole named their kid Schlep?
Welcome to another episode of Let's Rewatch, the show where we watch movies that we loved in our youth and see if they're actually still any good. I'm Nick.
I'm Bret.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Ash.
And so you remember how a few weeks ago we decided we were going to make a special effort to only watch, well, not to only, but to watch more good movies?
Yes.
I guess we're reeling back on that this time around.
Ouch. Why?
So
Do you not like this movie?
We went back to Twitter and did another poll. And Ash, you were saying that a lot of people dumped on this movie. We've chosen...
Oh, just one person.
Just one
person threw movie shade on this movie. It was hilarious.
All right, let's call him out.
So, yeah, hold on.
Twitter user.
Twitter.
So the movie in question is The Mighty Ducks. So we will be watching The Mighty Ducks from 1992.
I love that we're like, let's watch better movies. And then our first thing was, let's ask Twitter.
Yeah.
I think we all know that better movies is a subjective term, which we don't always agree on.
So this one person said, Men in Black holds up way more than the Home Alone knockoff that is The Mighty Ducks.
Oh.
And I was like, burn!
I'm kind of inclined to maybe agree with them, but I'm also not a sports person.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Men in Black didn't win this.
Yeah, well, someone else said, threw shade on Men in Black, and they said Men in Black does not hold up. And I asked, like, well, what doesn't hold up? Is it the CG? Because I thought maybe, that's an obvious answer. And they were like, no, it's the comedy.
Oh.
So I'm very curious to rewatch that one, too, just because now I'm like, I remember it being on point. But...
Come on, Twitter.
Will Smith and, what's his name?
Tommy Lee Bones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Men in Black was okay, but I was never like a huge fan of it.
Oh, yeah.
I sang that fucking song all the time as a little kid.
But I'm actually going to kind of sort of get on board with this person on Twitter because I kind of really don't want to watch this movie, you guys.
But is it a Home Alone ripoff?
I don't know. I
don't remember
I've actually never seen it.
What?
But the idea of like little kids playing hockey sounds so boring.
Dude,
never
it's
seen
the underdog story. It's so fucking American, except it's about a Canadian sport.
How many underdog sports movies are there?
Every single fucking one.
Yeah, it's a worn-out trope.
Nobody likes sports movies, though.
I don't think hockey's going to make it more interesting.
They sing the We Will Rock You song.
Okay.
We're having
so
a
2 in a row.
Here. Yeah.
We just saw that.
Well, okay, so if there's Queen in this...
Yeah.
That's
no, We Are the Champions, actually. I think it's We Are the
it is
Champions.
We Are the Champions, yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, so it's Queen, Christopher Walken, or boobs.
Wait,
so.
Christopher Walken?
No.
He's in this movie?
No, that's the rule.
I was adding
the movie rule.
Queen to the list of things that make movies better.
Okay, I get it now. You really brought me up there
sorry.
to bring me down.
That'd
hard.
be amazing. He's like,
I was so excited.
What you got to do is this is a horrible Christopher Walken impression.
No,
We're not just ducks.
Wow.
We're mighty ducks.
There you go.
Was Christopher Walken in Dodgeball? Because I kind of feel like he was. Which is also an underdog.
Is
You're thinking
Dodgeball
of-
just a shitty ripoff of Mighty Ducks?
You're thinking of that ping pong movie.
Yeah.
Where he was the ping pong ball master.
Oh, yes.
It was Rip Torn in Dodgeball.
Oh. Was that movie good? We should watch
I
that.
think it was pretty good. Yeah, Christopher Walken. You can do a Christopher Walken impression in one word. And that word is wow. So this is Mighty Ducks from 1992. Directed by Stephen Herrick, who hasn't done a ton, but... Well, no, scratch out. He has done a bunch, but stuff that I don't necessarily remember. But he did direct Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. He did direct Critters. Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Actually, I'm like scrolling through his list.
I forgot about that movie.
Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
Can we please watch that one? I loved it.
Please. Okay, change of course. Twitter, sorry.
Sorry, we're not watching Mighty Ducks today.
The Home Alone ripoff.
Dude,
Don't Tell Mom the
that movie
Babysitter's
is
Dead.
so
Wait,
80s.
actually, that does sound kind of...
This dude directed a lot of really good stuff. I'm going to completely go 180 here. He He directed 101 Dalmatians.
Wow.
He directed Mr. Holland's Opus,
Oh.
The Three
Whoa.
Musketeers.
Ooh, we should do that one too. That's a good one.
But he did direct, let me look at that again. Was it just a few episodes of, yeah, he directed 2 episodes of The New MacGyver, which was like disappointment of the year.
Really? That bar wasn't exactly set high.
Yeah,
Oh, MacGyver burn.
I guess I'll take that, but it was just it
Throwing
was
shade
really
all
bad.
over this podcast.
Did the new MacGyver kind of just feel like they took whatever they had lying around and tried to turn it into a show?
No, didn't you say it's that they do like ridiculous stuff that doesn't even
Well,
what?
that was a really bad joke.
They tried to cobble together a TV show from whatever was laying
Gotcha.
around. Yeah.
It's
No,
a
it
joke
was-
so dumb that the only drunk person is the one who gets it.
It was a show where they're like, we're going to do some really interesting things with science, but it was the most flimsy movie logic I've ever seen. It's like he made an electromagnet to open a door, and we're supposed to go, wow, the science is amazing. It's like, no, you're just doing movie logic bullshit.
But if you use a sonic screwdriver, it's impressive.
Yes, it is.
This is going to be an interesting
So
podcast.
is MacGyver the show kind of like battleshipping the show?
Yeah, it's like, it's
You would love
it's a
it.
battleship version of the original MacGyver concept. It's pretty bad. But we're not here to talk about MacGyver. We're here to talk about the Mighty Ducks.
Oh my god, you sound so.
Yeah,
I
Why
hope that you end up loving this film.
Yeah, me too.
it's possible. I mean,
Dude, think back to Pokemon.
well, I didn't love Pokemon. I was just really surprised by how good the initial concept was.
I
Yeah.
think you were
I was-
pretty into it.
I was surprised by how good some stuff was. I'm
Uh-huh.
not saying I love the movie.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's
I
possible.
remember you using the word love and really.
Okay.
I don't remember the word love, but I remember really.
But it is possible because we've got some good ingredients here. We have Emilio Estevez.
Yes.
Yes.
The Mighty Duck Man. And I was like, Emilio. Sorry.
Oh.
He kind of is the Mighty Duck Man. Like
No,
he's
it's-
been in all 3. But he's also the Breakfast Club man. He's the Young Gunsman. I'm a huge fan of Men at Work.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, that's one we should go back to.
I have not seen that either or even heard of it. It kind of sounds like a Village People skit.
It's the Sheen brothers and their garbage men, and they find
Well,
a
no,
dead,
just kidding.
yeah, they find a dead body in the garbage, and it gets awesome from there.
Okay, this
That
sounds
sounds
awesome.
real
It's
morbid.
really good.
It sounds like everything I wanted Encino Man to be.
Yeah,
What?
and it's got Keith David, who you may remember from one of the later seasons of Community. That guy, and he's like the like supervisor garbage man is giving him shit
okay.
the whole time. Yeah,
Is he the old guy?
he replaced Pierce,
Gotcha. Yeah.
but he was the second replacement for Pierce. He's not the guy from Baking Bad. He was the second.
Oh.
Yeah,
Baking Bad.
Bad?
Baking Bad. Yeah, that show about
I
bread.
gave Nick some wine.
That's pretty much the plot of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, Baking Bad.
Yeah, they're baking, cooking it.
Yeah.
So we've got a couple other mildly interesting actors. Lane Smith is like one of those, 90s bad guys that you see, but he was Perry White in the Lois and Clark Superman show. I don't know if you remember that.
Haven't seen it.
MC Gainey is interesting. He was Mr. Friendly on Lost. Do you guys remember Mr. Friendly?
No.
No.
No. But Ash, you might remember him because he's on Magicians. But-
Who is he on
So,
Magicians?
well, I haven't seen Magicians. so
Wait, I have to look up the picture now.
I bet Bryce remembers Mr. Friendly.
Can we backtrack a little? What's Magicians?
It's
Is he familiar?
he must have been the bad guy.
He's
He looks-
usually a bad guy.
Wait,
He
it's
doesn't
not a
look like that.
reality TV
No,
show?
No.
Magicians looks like. Actually, I'm not even going to try and describe it.
It's like somebody took Harry Potter and Narnia and made their own fan fiction. And that sounds really lame. But the interesting thing is they call out the fact that it's fan fiction and they're like, oh, like in Narnia. And they're like, well, sort of. Like they call it out so it kind of feels okay.
Is it a CW show?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all you need to say is it's a CW show, and then everyone knows what's going on.
Wait, is it, Bryce?
Grace isn't on the show anymore. If you guys didn't know,
Gone.
But it's
Where'd he go? He's gone.
it's like Harry Potter, but with sexy 19-year-olds.
Yeah.
Ew, that sounds horrible.
That sounds like a really bad. So
First of all, I'd like to argue that
Have
at
you
one
seen
point,
television?
yeah.
Like 50% of television is X plus sexy 19-year-olds.
But here's my pitch: is like it starts out like that, and then it takes its own direction and its own story, and it
Okay.
gets way better. But the
Okay.
first half of the first season is terrible, and then it gets better, and it gets really interesting
Okay.
because like they do what feels, in my opinion, a much more realistic version of magic than
Okay.
you see in most things. Harry Potter's like, here's a wand and abracadabra, but they're like doing magic by doing complicated hand gestures that are kind of
like
interesting.
Tai
and
Chi.
I guess.
All right, I know this is gonna work. It's not abracadabra, Sam. It's what? What do they actually say?
I'm a little too.
No, I guess it didn't
they
work.
say they want a
I was
cadaver.
sure
I was
you would
trying-
just bust out one of those Harry Potter spells off
I
the top of
know.
your
I
head.
totally.
yeah.
I would have.
There's a Leviosa thing.
There's-
Yeah, when Guardia Leviosa, I just lift the thing, and I don't remember the one to kill you, but
It's
it's
something
kind of.
cadabra.
It's
There's
not
a spell
cadabra.
Avada
to kill.
Kedavra.
That's the
Yeah.
spell that you're talking about
You
right
just-
now.
You just
And
say
you-
die and somebody dies.
Yes, unless you fucking block it, and there's like the epic battle between Harry and Voldemort at the end, where like their magic is like.
the
trying
spell
to-
is
yeah.
like it's almost literally I want a cadaver.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
pretty similar to that, but I'm totally blanking on what it is.
It's a Avada Kedavra.
Yeah, it's Avada Kedavra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then they know. Why didn't you ask them?
Because I was sure you would just bust out Harry Potter
I
spells
know,
off the top
but
of your
I'm
head.
the asshole that
She's-
watched the movies and didn't read the books.
She didn't read the books. I'm the
So,
one that
I
has read the
know.
books.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm
I'm
coming out of the
rereading them
closet
now.
right now.
I
I,
guess I
only
should've
read
gone
the
with you.
last book like a fucking dick.
You're the one who just said it's like Harry Potter where they go abracadabra. So I thought Sam
Oh.
could trump your abracadabra.
So okay, but like the way you described this makes it sound like
Oh, it doesn't sound good.
well, like the more realistic magic. It reminds me of how much I hated the Avatar movie. Shyamalan's
magic?
Shyamalan's Avatar, where the TV show Avatar, they were like fucking magic, and then that one they were like Tai Chi, and then like a little magic came out at the end.
No, it's not like Tai Chi at all. It looks
A
more like
little magic came out at the end.
It was
That is a horrible visual.
It's like a shark.
But it's-
that's
it
what
was, like,
happens
really
when
sad.
you fuck a magician.
they would do like these whole routines, and then like at the end just go blah, and like nothing would happen, and it was super boring. That movie sucked.
No, this is more like it looks more like somebody almost doing sign language, but like if you mirrored your hands on both sides, so they're like
Oh, like
There's
Yu-Gi-Oh.
There's a science.
Maybe.
Or no, not Yu-Gi-Oh. What's the one where they have the
there's a science to it? Absolutely not.
Naruto.
No.
Naruto? And then they
no. Maybe. I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe.
All right.
I only read the Naruto comics, so I didn't watch the show.
Oh, on the show they totally
Do they do that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll tell you
Anyway, so
what does look interesting to me researching the Mighty Ducks is the kids. Because I found 3 of the kids in this movie who grew up to be people that we now know and love. Or not like superstars, but people that I think we love. We've seen Marguerite Moreau in Wet Hot American Summer. She was Katie in Wet Hot American Summer. So I'm excited to see her. Eldon Henson is in this. He's Foggy Nelson in the new Daredevil series.
Whoa.
Yeah, so apparently we get to see him as a kid. And Joshua Jackson, who I think is most famous from Dawson's Creek, but I know him from Fringe.
Oh, okay.
So he's in here as a kid. So at least 3 of the kids are like recognizable people. Yeah, so I think I might have another one of my like that Kirsten Dunst thing that I describe, because Marguerite Moreau is very attractive, but to see her as a child is going to be weird
You're
and
gonna
creepy.
be like, oh no.
Yeah. So I might have another
You're the
one of
only
those.
one that has that problem, I think.
Maybe.
I think it's because Nick was just a few years older than us when he watched all these movies. So,
Maybe.
like, we weren't quite.
But he
looking
didn't
at
watch
the
this
actors.
movie.
Yeah, I didn't watch this,
true.
but I saw Interview with a Vampire, and it's weird to see Kirsten Dunst like 12 years old.
Yeah.
There's nobody like that for you guys who's
No.
like a child actor who grew up to be somebody attractive.
No, because I understand that's what happens to humans.
No, I think it's because all the childhood actors that we thought were hot are like just fucking douchebags now.
Maybe.
Or like they disappeared, right? Like the Jonathan Taylor Thomas, like he was big. We had thought he was cute then.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
he just disappeared.
The only person I can think of that I ever had like a crush on was actually oh no, why am I blanking on his name? It's Harry Potter.
Oh, Daniel Radcliffe.
Daniel Radcliffe.
He grew up pretty normal.
But I met him as a child, right? On screen. So
I thought you said you met Daniel Radcliffe.
I know. I was going to be like, why haven't you told me
No,
this?
I have not. But like, so it's the reverse for me because it's like I grew up with him. So,
Yeah.
But he's also remained fairly visible since. I think the phenomenon that Nick's talking about is like, you know them as an adult and then go back and see them as a kid.
Now, had I seen Mighty Ducks as a child, I would have been almost the same age as Marguerite Moreau and would have grown up with her and then seen her in Wet Hot American Summer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going backwards again.
I think that's the weird part that you're grasping.
Get off of my table.
So there's
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That would be the one that we could relate to.
but I watched the show he was on.
Oh, I didn't.
So
30 Rock from the Sun.
yeah, sorry, I couldn't remember.
So the thing that like screws with me thinking about Mighty Ducks, there is a legitimate NHL hockey team called the Mighty Ducks. And I had to look this up to answer the question, what the fuck is going on there?
What happened first?
Yeah.
The duck or
Is
the
it like
duck?
a Bubba Gump thing?
I think it's kind of a Bubba Gump thing. The Disney started an NHL franchise in 1993. So Disney was behind it. So they're like, we're going to call them the Mighty Ducks.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they were just like cross-promoting their movie by starting
By real life.
a hockey team. Yeah.
What?
And that team still exists as the Anaheim Ducks.
Yeah.
Like there's a real hockey team named after this stupid kids movie.
That's how it came to
Now,
be.
Yeah.
hold
Disney.
the judgments till you see it.
Yeah.
Only Disney could pull that shit. Like, we're so fucking rich, we'll just buy a hockey team named after our movie.
I mean, that's crazy, but I'm gonna say again, Bubba Gumps is fucking weird that still exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is weird.
that is equally weird. But can you imagine being like super strong athlete man who's trained your entire life to be a professional athlete, and the team you end up on is the Mighty Ducks?
Well, it's already an embarrassing name, right?
What? Hockey?
No, ducks. Just,
Ducks.
It's not an intimidating thing.
Okay, dog jail. Okay, so Mighty Ducks.
Yeah. Ever heard of it? It's a little kids playing hockey.
I've seen this movie in the past. I think I've only seen it as a kid, and then I forgot about it. And I know there's some sports in it. I remember this. There's the song, the Queen's in it. But
Queen is in this movie?
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, if it's like a team of little kids playing hockey against Queen, I'm in.
That would be so hard because you'd be like, well, I want Queen to win, but the little kids,
What? I want Queen to crush these little kids.
I'm surprised you're not more on board with that ad.
I know.
I just want to see like Brian May high stick a little child. I want to see Freddie Mercury punch Marguerite Moreau. Like, I would see this movie.
Just
That'd be great.
Just all of them singing in unison while like destroying these kids.
And they're singing "We Are the Champions." While
You need to pitch this as a Robot Chicken short idea.
Yeah, this is great.
They would do
Yeah,
it.
I wish I had connections at the people who make.
You need
Robot
to
Chicken.
listen to this, Seth.
It's a really great idea.
So you think you're gonna like it, Brett?
I think I'm on your side on this one. I don't have high hopes for this
Yeah.
because it's a sports movie, and I can't think of any sports movies I'm down with.
I thought you liked. I'm so
Offhand.
surprised.
What?
You guys all liked the one that Nick and I didn't at first, and then later we were like, all right, it's okay. Sandlot.
Oh, Sandlot.
Yeah.
There are a handful of baseball movies that I like, and I don't know what the deal is with that.
I don't look at Sandlot as a sports movie. It's like a
And that's what I'm hoping.
Like a kid
I'm hoping
hangout
this
movie.
is like that.
Oh, that is not going to be the case. It's all
It is
about
very
the
sports. Mm-hmm.
We're just gonna watch a hockey movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it does have the good Sheen brother in it. You know, at least we get Emilio Estevez, right?
And I was like, Emilio. Sorry. I'm gonna keep saying it till you know.
So yeah, I'm not holding out a lot of hope for this. But I'll be like, yeah, when the Queen happens. And
Yeah.
that's all.
Because of the Queen,
Wow,
not the children.
one song in the movie is what's gonna make.
It's
this
a great feeling when the song comes on.
I remember being a little kid and being like, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, we'll see.
It's
They
an
are the
appropriate
champions.
use
Yeah.
of the song.
So I'm just gonna let my feelings stand. I've never seen it. I don't have high hopes. There's a few actors that might be fun.
Okay.
What do you expect? Have you seen this, Ash?
Yes. I remember really liking this movie. I don't think I've seen it since I was a kid. I remember seeing it, I feel like a couple of times when I was a kid. It wasn't like one that I watched on repeat, but I think I saw it a couple times because it would be like on the Disney Channel or something. But which is weird that I would like it because I don't like sports movies. So I'm not sure why I'll like this one. We'll see. But I don't remember
I wonder if it's
much.
because you were force fed it at the right age.
Maybe. She's gullible. She'll watch.
That was quite a loaded phrase there.
What? You were force fed it at the right age?
as a yeah.
You
how I
couldn't
feel.
possibly like this on your own, Ash.
Yeah.
But I don't remember a lot, and I will say I remember liking it. I hope that it's good, but I feel like it could be on the fence. It could go either way. I'm not sure.
I think we're going to find a theme of like movies about ducks we remember fondly.
Do you feel that way about Howard the Duck too?
Oh.
Oh, that's interesting. I love Howard the Duck.
Oh, just flipped it on you.
But
Boom.
yeah, DuckTales was kind of a letdown.
Oh, I forgot about DuckTales.
Yeah.
Wait,
All right.
okay, wait. So Michael J. Fox isn't in this movie?
Not that I
What
know
movie
of.
are you
Yeah, what are you
of?
thinking of?
I don't know. I feel like there's a Michael J. Fox sports
Well,
movie.
it's Amelia Estevez. Emilio Estevez.
Are you
Gloria Estefan?
It's Gloria Estefan.
He kind of has like the Michael J vibe in this movie. So
Okay.
I think that might be why you're thinking that.
Is that why Martin Sheen changed his name?
Yeah, because no one could say
Estevez.
Estevez.
Yeah, I don't know. A Michael J. Fox sports movie. I'm going to have to look that up.
All right.
Yeah, I can't think of one.
Sorry to interrupt.
All right, so Sam, Drunky Pants, what do you think
I'm
of?
kind of sobering up. It's really not as fun. I don't
Oh
know.
no, you got to get drunk for this then.
How about them ducks? You like them ducks?
I think I'm going to slowly start to remember this movie, but honestly, I haven't seen it in probably 20 years. So
Nobody has.
I really don't. I really don't know what to expect. I expect it to be like very stereotypical, like cookie cutter sports movie.
And you feel like that's a good thing, and I feel like that's a bad thing. I think we're expecting the same thing here.
I feel like I feel like to hope to get more out of it than that, you're setting yourself up for failure. I think it won't have as many glaring story flaws as maybe you're expecting, but it's just going to be very run of the mill, exactly what you would expect it to be.
It's the formula of
Yeah.
like, oh no, we suck, and or our team bus is
Yeah,
broken,
we get
or we
better.
need new gear,
Mhm.
and then the coach is like, I'm your new coach, and like,
I make you better.
Let's
and,
fix
and let
it.
me guess, is he a reluctant coach? He doesn't really want to be the coach, but
I
this
think
is how he
so.
redeems
Yeah.
himself.
yeah. And then by the end of the movie, they all form a bond, and then end up
And then
winning
they
at
win.
least one game.
Oh, and don't forget the one outsider kid that really shouldn't be there, but somehow brings them up to a new
Well,
level.
is there a girl who wants to be on the team, but that's unheard of, but somehow they get away with doing it anyway?
I don't think the
Ooh.
girl part happens.
I think that's Mighty Ducks 2.
Yeah. Sorry. But I am looking forward to the part in the movie when they fight the wet bandits.
Yes.
You remember way more about this than I do.
I think she remembers more about Home Alone.
I don't remember the team, the Wet Bandits.
The other Disney team that they invented.
Is there going to be like another team with one like really good hockey player kid, but he's a total asshole, but he's got a
Probably.
coach that encourages him to be an asshole?
Maybe.
Probably.
All right,
So
this
you
would be a
have
great
seen the movie. Yeah.
Yes, I have seen The Karate Kid and Bad News Bears and so many other movies.
Okay, Bad News Bears came out way after Mighty Ducks. BT dubs.
I think.
That's incorrect.
Oh, well, the remake.
That was a
You're
remake.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, true.
Yes.
Fair.
Oh.
All right, so this movie is not on Netflix, although D2, The Mighty Ducks, is on Netflix.
Oh.
D3, The Mighty Ducks, is not on Netflix.
There's a third one?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, apparently so.
It wasn't as popular as D2. It didn't have like the whole skill tree thing.
Well, because people got confused. They're like, is this movie 3D? Or
Oh, Bret. I was like,
All the dyslexic people.
They should have called it D3 3D. That would have been great. So yeah, we're gonna watch some ducks. Yeah, you can rent it on iTunes and whatnot, but not on Netflix. So you might want to check out Mighty Ducks, and we'll join you after the movie and see if it's actually any good.
You might want to check out.
Might want to watch the ducks.
Nick has so much faith. Quack, 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 quack.
It's like
Quack.
a hurricane
Here
in
Duckworth.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I don't really have anything to say about that.
I have
Let's
so
over.
much to say.
Yeah, what the fuck did we just watch?
That was so much
Alright.
worse than I thought it could be.
Actually, here I have a problem.
Just one?
Well, I mean, I've come out and I've said that we've watched the worst movie that we'll ever will or ever have or ever will watch.
Didn't I tell you at the time that you said that you might regret that statement?
But I don't know. I don't know if this is worse than The Substitute. But it is in high
worse.
competition.
It is
so much
worse than The Substitute. I enjoyed The Substitute.
No, here it is. It's in competition for worst movie, but it like The Mighty Ducks, it still can't win.
But the bigger question is it worse than Batteries Not Included?
Oh yeah, Batteries Not Included had lots of value.
At least the writing was better in that movie. It was just boring.
Yeah,
This was boring and the writing was bad.
that's true. You have a good point.
And completely backwards on its morality goal.
Yeah.
Everything's like, oh, play fair, but we're gonna actually steal the other kid from the other team. How is that fair to that kid at all?
So the headcanon that I've got for this film, using what they actually put on screen, is that their District 5 district was actually the rich kids' neighborhood, and their parents were all just horribly negligent. And the Hawks had really nice gear and a really nice hockey team, and that's all they fucking had. And like the fucking Ducks used gerrymandering to steal their star player and like just fucking destroyed their world.
That would explain why that one kid could afford a fucking leather jacket. That looks like...
I guess I have to give them respect for making a movie that focuses on the bad guys. Like most movies are all about the journey of the good guy, but this movie was about the bad guys.
Yeah.
And how he learned to accept being a bad guy.
I mean, he had like no repentance for driving drunk. Like
Oh yeah.
nothing.
Yeah,
No.
but that's setting up the character, and he's supposed to have the redemption, but he never had the redemption. for
No,
that.
there were all these emotional moments that we didn't earn at all. Like the little kid was suddenly his best friend, even though they had like
Nothing.
a
yeah.
5-second bonding moment where they tickled in the driveway. Oh,
Well, even
like,
before that, he comes and he says he like apologizes, and the kid's response is, "Are you staying for dinner?"
He's like,
yeah.
well, thanks for apologizing. Think you might want to bone my mom?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Are you my
Yeah.
dad now?
maybe that's why the insult was cake eater, because these were the bad guys and good guys like cake, I guess.
I don't know.
No, I can't track that.
This whole movie was fucked up.
So here's what would have been a really interesting angle. Like you've got a team of losers. They really want to win the game. He's really obsessed with it because he's, a flawed character. He's obsessed with winning the game. He finds out that he can get the other team's star player if he manipulates this gerrymandering situation. And he has this character emotional growth where he has to come to terms with the fact that that would be the bad thing to do.
Yeah.
It could have won him the game, but he had to choose to do the right thing to do, which was let that kid play hockey with his friends who are on his team.
And
that would have been much more poignant.
Yeah.
And like on top of that, then they would have won themselves. You know, they would have won, and it would have been a better win because it's like, hey, they had this awesome player, and we still won.
Or
Him, which they didn't even use him in the end anyway because they lost him during the game.
well, he did score 1 goal, so
It's-
he was. No, I think it would have been even more gooder if they lost the last game.
Yeah. So
That would have been what this movie was supposed to be about.
I want to make a comparison that you might think is kind of crazy, but Bring It On told a sports story
Yes.
in a much better way.
Interesting.
You know, the team,
Yeah.
they found out that they had been doing things the wrong way, that their old coach had been cheating, and like then the new coach had to go and learn all this stuff, and they had to practice, and like in the end, the team, well, spoilers, that deserved to win won, and they lost, but it was still a happy ending. Like, it's what Nick wants out of the Mighty Ducks, but was so much better.
Yeah, they like actually learned a lesson instead of
and
here.
actually worked hard. Like,
Yeah.
there was one training montage.
Here we learned that money and stealing a player can win,
Yeah.
and that's the way to win.
Well,
apparently,
I feel like they had it just backwards, and that the really good plot would have been if the Ducks lost a player due to gerrymandering.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then they
still
fought
won?
to get the player back because
Yeah.
they cared and were a family or something.
Or
Yeah.
wouldn't it be so much better for Emilio Estevez's arc and the little kid's arc if he had that final shot and dinged it off of the goalpost and lost the game? And it was a story about how that affected him,
Yeah.
how they handled that.
And then that would make that the shoe guy, his little ending bit, like, I'm so proud of you, so much more meaningful because
yeah.
then like he got put in the same situation as the coach and did the right thing
yeah.
and told the kid, it's okay, we're still a team. Like,
I mean,
you are
he did
still
that
the
a
player.
little bit because he was like win or lose.
Yeah,
but
But,
if you
we
win,
knew they
like-
were going to win.
yeah, totally.
Yeah,
that's a problem.
And that makes it so much more meaningful if they did lose and
Yeah.
he still sticks by that. You know,
Apparently, that's how you pick up chicks too. You just let their
Ugh.
lucky.
you just, you find the only chick in the movie and then suddenly she gets to bone you. Like,
Hey, the principal was in this movie too. Let's
that's
not
true.
forget.
And there were 2 girl players.
Hey, is it weird that I wanted to see a movie about these kids in school with that crazy principal?
Yeah. I think the movie you're wanting is Matilda.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
going to say, I feel like I've seen that movie.
Yes. It's totally
Yeah,
Matilda.
that was Matilda, wasn't it? And
I-
they had like an Iron Maiden in the.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Watch that
feel
one.
like I feel like the big problem this movie had, besides all that, was it really should have been told from the kids' perspective.
Yes.
Like the other, we've talked about this before, that like there's several 90s films that do a really good job at like telling from the kids' perspective. And I feel like this movie would have been so much better because like I didn't really care about Emilio and like he wasn't a likable character, and we had all these kids who could have been likable characters if we spent like a second
With the-
developing them.
With the exception of Pauly Shore Kid.
Yeah, with the exception of horrible Pauly Shore Kid.
Well, he was doing the making copies gag from Saturday Night Live. He was doing that
Oh.
character.
Was that Pauly Shore?
No.
Oh. Is that just what Pauly Shore is doing all the time then?
I guess he's doing something that
Something
smells
like
similar.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
But,
was
you know,
this
like,
Emilio
imagine-
guy, like a really terrible actor.
This I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
If you need an example of the when people say they're phoning it in, this is the textbook template for phoning in a performance. Emilio Estevez was not present at all. He was like, he walked up and read lines.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
It was,
Totally.
and I've seen him do really good stuff. He can be good. He can be very funny. He can be a very good actor.
In that beginning scene when he's like on the steps after he won that court case,
Yeah.
like he's talking.
He's just reading lines.
and you can tell
Yeah.
he's not even looking the other guy in the eye.
And you said
Someone
something,
has cue cards.
I
off
know
screen.
that's what it looks
Yeah, he's like
like.
spacing out and just kind of like, this is my line now. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, was it just
Have
the
you finished talking?
paycheck?
I don't
And
know.
if so, like this became what Emilio Estevez was known for in the latter half of his career.
Definitely. Yeah. For sure.
Something that he just phoned in.
I have a theory that the Mighty Ducks 2 is the popular one.
Yeah, because I didn't remember anything of this. And clearly we completely got it wrong that
Yeah.
We Are the Champions is in this film.
I think we were thinking of the second one.
and it's the end of the second one. We looked
Yeah.
it up. So maybe
This is unknowable information.
unknowable. What do you mean?
Because we're not going to watch Mighty Ducks 2.
Please don't
So
make us
there's
do
no
it.
way to confirm or deny what you're suggesting. Well, I was saying, like, if you're saying all the things that I remember are in Mighty Ducks 2,
Oh no,
we
I
can't
don't know.
confirm that because
no, I can't.
we will not
confirm.
watch that movie.
ever.
Nick's putting down the law.
But also, like the Queen song in this movie, you guys were so ready to turn off the movie
Yes.
halfway through the credits because you're like, I guess there's no Queen, and I was like, I bet it's the next credit song.
I can't believe
That-
you would spend the money to use a Queen song and put it as the last credit song and only use it for 30 fucking seconds.
You didn't even do the whole thing.
They didn't even. Why? Why?
because that was within fair use and they didn't have to pay for
I
it.
don't think that's how
I
it
don't think
works.
that's not how that works.
So, like, I guess that doesn't count towards the Queen walking her boobs, right? Because that was not technically in the film.
Nope.
It was the most enjoyable thing that happened in the movie.
It was.
We all had
Only
a good
because we
moment.
were
Really?
Sam and I were so sure that it wasn't going to happen.
And Brett was right. I cannot believe that there was a Queen song at the end of the credits.
What was with the Vaseline on the lens
In the
too
whole beginning.
in the beginning?
The flashback thing.
Ugh.
All right, here's the second most enjoyable thing in the movie. I grew up on the ice. I know when it's safe to drive on.
Yes. That mom was the only fucking reasonable adult in this whole movie. Like, fuck you, dude, driving my kid in your car on the ice. Like, you could have killed them. And his response is, I know when the ice is safe. Like, no,
He
you
knows
don't.
when it's safe to drive on.
Yeah.
Because clearly, when you're a kid and you're growing up, you're driving cars on ice all the time.
Yeah.
It reminds me of this time when I had to get my car fixed when I was a teenager, and we took it in, and it's like the tires are all bald and shit, and they're like new tires, and the guy stood there with my parents and was just like, you know, like kids this age, they like to race and like peel out and stuff. You've been peeling out, son? I was like never. Like what the fuck? And
Oh my god!
yeah.
Just threw you under the bus?
Yeah, and they had this fucking dude come over and like talk, and I was like, I've never done that, and my parents are like, yeah, I don't think he's ever done that, and he like puts his hand on the tire, and he's like, you know, I've seen a lot of cars in my day, and like, I know when things are a certain way. It's not the alignment. He's been peeling out. And I was like, you know what? Like, fuck this, dude. No, I wasn't. And, you know, my mom gets a little angry. She's like, if my kid says he wasn't doing it, he wasn't doing it. And
Oh, good
like
for your
starts
mom.
going off on the guy. And he just looks at her and he goes, you know what? We're going to check this. And if it's the alignment, I'll pay for it. And you know what? It fucking was.
We are the
And-
champions,
Yeah.
my friend.
Quack, quack, quack.
They billed us for the whole thing, and my mom was like, no, your guy said he'd pay for it. And you hear on the phone, like, yeah, did you say that? Oh my God.
Yes, that's awesome.
I was there.
Yeah.
And that was pretty.
Your
I-
mom kicked ass there.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
That is awesome.
That is far more entertaining than what we just
I wish
watched.
that was what we watched.
So he looked a lot like Michael J. Fox, right?
yeah.
I totally
I'm gonna look up Michael J. Fox and figure out where he was coaching sports ball.
I mean, I think I just had it confused as a kid. Like, they looked similar enough
Yeah.
in this, like it could have been him.
It should have been.
I definitely, he gives off like the Michael J. Fox vibe in this movie. It's very.
And he keeps like talking soft like Michael J. Fox, like, hey, nah, nah, nah.
Mhm.
It really seemed like that's what they would have liked in this
I
movie.
wonder if that was the first choice.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he's phoning it in. He's like, well, whatever. Oh man, I feel like I'd like to say that there was so much potential, but there really wasn't in this movie.
Yeah.
It was, and like it was interesting to me that they had the girl characters on the team and it wasn't even a thing.
I did
Cool.
like that. Yeah.
But then they never really used them.
Hey, you guys.
Yeah.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the
That
best
was
line.
funny.
But the sister girl, I guess they used her like twirliness.
Yeah.
But I wanted to see her like just ramming into people like the tank for
Yeah.
them, you know? Like
I would've-
I don't know, that would have
Yeah.
been better.
I would have liked to have seen them create actual characters
Yeah.
for each kid and then use that. They kind of started to, but
not really.
not in a consistent way. Not to where
Yeah.
you felt like you knew each character and their purpose on the team and how
they
they
were
fit
like
together.
stereotypes.
Wait a minute. Let's
Yeah.
be clear. We totally knew that the fat kid was fat and couldn't do normal things like everyone else.
Oh my God, there is always a fat kid.
Yes.
God.
It's like a
Now-
thing in 90s films, I tell you.
Yeah. Now, in their defense, they understood that they were making a movie about Emilio Estevez. That was the wrong choice, but at least they had a vision for what they were trying to do. A very boring vision.
They got to meet what I assume were professional hockey players at one point in the movie,
Right.
and they were all pretty much unfazed. They're like,
Yeah.
"Eh,
Well, no,
cool."
the guy said, I know who they are. Like,
Oh.
they
So
did
one
make
guy
it-
knew.
They're
They're
really,
supposed to be starstruck.
this movie needed some moment to challenge that goal of like, we need to play for the enjoyment, not for the win.
Yeah.
And it did actually kind of had that moment to challenge it, and they failed
Yeah,
by stealing that other kid from that other team.
totally.
Yeah.
He actually did the bad thing to secure the win
Yeah.
Which is just
over the
like
fun of it.
just like the shittiest thing you could do is just be like, hey, this kid over here, he's having fun on his team with all his friends. Well, fuck you, kid. Come over here. Like,
And then the writers are like on his very first game out, fucking like killed him.
yeah.
Like he might be seriously injured,
also,
and he
too,
only got to play. He only got to do one thing.
as a coach, like, why did he allow his players to treat that poor kid like shit?
Yeah.
Like, they were all talking about how they're all duck. He's not a real duck. Get your fucking ass in there and be an adult and tell them that bullying is not okay.
Yeah.
Which they did at no point in this movie.
Emilio was kind of a really terrible coach.
Did he do anything
Well,
aside by
Here's what I do like. The exercises that he did were really good. The egg exercise
yeah.
and the exercise where they had to hit the pucks at the goalie so that he would stop being scared. Like those are legitimately useful exercises.
With the exception of the fact that they fucking drawn and quartered the poor goalie and hit him with shit. Like, they tied him against his will to the post.
That doesn't bother me.
What? That is like, that is so not okay.
Well, I
You got to
the
teach him to not be scared or he
Yeah.
should not be a goalie. I remember when I was a kid, there was this other little kid who was super annoying, and there was like this camping trip, and he was sleeping in a hammock, and adults were involved. Like, we just duct taped this kid into the hammock.
God.
And I like to think that
Wow.
it made him a better person.
Well, okay. That's
Well, a counterpoint, and no, it probably didn't. Counterpoint, I didn't swim very well as a kid. I wasn't very good at swimming.
So they push you in the pool.
Yeah, they would push me in the pool, and it was horrible. It did not make me a better swimmer. Instead, it made me more afraid of the water.
yeah.
What was weird but interesting but also weird was they definitely tried to make it seem like what's it called when you have a line of people with guns and you're gonna shoot someone?
Ooh.
Firing squad.
Yeah, they definitely made it feel like a firing squad, right? They even
Yeah.
had like the gun cocking
Yeah.
noise and then
They were going to
The
kill his
shooting.
fear.
yeah, I guess so. It
I
was-
guess what makes
Yeah,
that scene
that doesn't
okay is they didn't just tie him to the thing. Like they asked him. He's like, "Hey, do you trust me to do a thing?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." And then they did the thing.
I don't really have a huge problem with it, but I think Emilio wasn't that great of a coach. At least
No, he's horrible.
A horrible
Yeah.
coach.
that was
Terrible.
No,
more
he
what I
had
was-
like 2 or 3 good, hockey related exercises.
Mhm.
From that time when he played hockey and probably stole them from the good coach.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
Totally.
So, okay, I have a bigger question.
Uh-huh.
Because I think it's safe to say, like, thinking back, this was, for a time, a beloved franchise. Like, people really
Yes.
like the Ducks. What is the minimum it takes for something to become a beloved franchise? Like, is it just, like, that the main characters won and celebrated at the end?
No,
Like-
I think it's more $10,000 in marketing.
I completely 100% agree with that. I think that it had the power of Disney behind it,
Yeah.
and it was just promoted. And it's like, hey, kids, this is the thing you like this year. I
Yeah.
absolutely think that's what it was.
So gross.
It
I
also-
mean- Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
It also was a time when there weren't a ton of
Yeah.
kids movies.
Mm-hmm. And I think just movies in general, probably maybe like a sports movie standard at the time. This is probably pretty just on par, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like storytelling, as audience members, we've raised the bar for what we expect in our
Yeah.
stories.
I guess, but like it seems weird that a movie about like a fucking drunk driving lawyer and like kids that are looking at pornos in the alleyway, like
An
Is that-
ethical compromise.
was supposed to be a kids movie?
Yeah.
I don't
Like who was this for?
Yeah,
I think-
the drunk
I think-
driving is.
Movies for kids now have gotten a little too safe and a little too smooth on the edges. You know, movies for kids used to have things that kids do, like fighting and breaking rules, and you know, like Stand By Me, the kids carry a gun. You know, now I think they're a little too careful with anything that has a kid in it.
I guess like
Yeah,
the
right.
the drunk driving element is probably the one that makes this feel weird, because I feel like as a kid there's an age where I would have figured out why he was in trouble, but it's like, oh, the cop is like mad at him,
Yeah,
like why
I
he was just drinking
disagree.
from that bottle.
I think that the drunk driving is okay because that was set up as this was a bad
Well,
thing he did and
it's
he's being
not
punished
okay.
for it. No, I mean, in the context of the movie, it's a
Right.
bad thing he was being punished for. What's worse, like, and I think really, really bad in this movie, is the ethical compromise that he made by stealing that other kid.
That's the
and it
worst.
being
Yeah.
promoted as a good thing.
Yeah.
That
and him
is-
masquerading he's like in the office with the guy and he's like, I'm learning to play fair. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
this isn't really, I mean, yes, that's not, there's a difference between playing fair and playing by the rules. And he's just trying to play by the rules, not necessarily fair.
And
But-
so the goal of the movie was to teach kids that that was a good strategy.
Yeah, I guess so. But the thing that Bret said, though, I want to go back to because it ties into what I was saying earlier, is you said, who is this movie for? And I think that that's the real big question here because, again, going back to the whole, this would be a much better kids movie if it was told from the perspective of the kids. Because as a kid, I can't relate to Emilio's character at all.
Yeah, the
But you weren't
the
bitch
lawyer
drinking and
who
driving as a-
who's only lost one case but didn't lose it because he scored with the secretary or whatever. Like,
Yeah, and
it's like
so-
a weird, like, how does a kid connect with that?
And
guy?
it's weird that it is pushed as a kids movie because like I'm not as a kid I can't even as an adult I can't relate to Emilio's character. Like he's just not a relatable
awful.
character. Yeah. And so it's so weird as opposed to like if the story was told from the perspective of kids, I think this would be a much better kids movie. It's surprising that it was such a
Yeah.
hit.
Maybe the second one was really good. I don't know.
Maybe, I don't know.
Or well, okay, here's a repitching of this whole film.
Okay.
Nothing changes except it's an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh my God! Yes. Wait, didn't they do that? Isn't
Like
there
they
an
s-
episode where they like coach a team?
Like
or
they drunk
something?
drive and don't understand what's wrong, and then like
Oh
This
my
really
God!
was.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
always sunny.
steal a kid from the other team and pretend like it was like the cool thing to do.
And there's the weird
Yeah.
driver guy who's just like hanging out through the whole movie for some
Yeah.
reason.
Charlie ends up in the office with the big lawyer and just starts quacking. Like
He's just trying to bang the kid's mom the whole time.
Oh my god.
it's the dentist system.
Oh,
Like-
we should, man.
Well, they did Lethal Weapon 5.
Yeah, they could totally do Mighty Ducks 4. And
Wow.
Mac is totally the guy on the other team that they steal.
God.
Yeah. See, it works.
It does
Yeah,
work.
that's the only way to make that.
And then D. That's
Yeah,
right.
D.
She's the one that figure skates in circles. And
Yeah. And
No. There's a little kid just like that, but Dee thinks that she can do it better.
Oh, right,
yes.
right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Danny DeVito is the coach on the other team.
Yeah. I see
It
it.
all
So-
checks out.
Who is the likable character in this movie?
No one.
The girl.
The mom.
Yeah, I
Which-
guess the mom.
The mom? Yeah, maybe.
But even she has like no character depth to her either. Like,
I know she's not fully fleshed
Yeah.
out.
She
And-
almost
and-
had a moment.
She's
Yeah.
like, in one moment, weirdly reactionary, but in the next moment, like horribly forgiving.
yes.
Like, I can't track that character.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I think the best guy is the driver. 'Cause
Aw.
he's just along for the ride for fun.
The shoe guy.
Yeah, the guy who makes
Oh,
skates.
yeah.
Who,
You're
Hello.
right.
by the way, like I was trying to where did I see this guy? He was the Russian ambassador in Hunt for October, but more importantly, he was the bad guy in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure or Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. The second Bill and Ted. He was the bad guy, I think, with the coolest name of any bad guy in any movie ever.
What is
His
it?
name is Chuck Denomalous, which
Okay.
I always thought was the best bad guy name. Chuck Denomalous.
What does that even mean?
It's just
It's
like
just a name.
I
but
think
it's
like
just
the last name is like this weird, scary sci-fi name, but the first name is Chuck.
Chuck.
I just
It's
always
kind of
thought
like
that was
that
brilliant.
Monty Python moment where he's like, "Some call me Tim."
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that might be the one likable character. He cares about the game. He cares about the moral arc of what happened to Emilio Estevez.
Because let's be clear, like those kids were awful.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the dad. The dad
Oh,
who was
yeah.
gonna be the coach when they realized that Emilio Estevez was shitty, and they're like, your dad is gonna be the coach now.
Which
I just forgot that happened.
yeah,
Oh.
which dad was it?
The only dad. There's only one dad. There's like
There were two dads.
Yeah, there were two dads.
There was the
well,
Hall.
not the
Hall's
kids, not the dad of the kid who was stolen.
Dad. Okay.
Kid was stolen.
Yeah. The one that was still wearing a Hawks jersey, even though
Right.
his kid
Yeah.
played for the
The
Ducks.
guy who was like, I'm losing my overtime to
Yeah,
watch
yeah,
my kids
yeah.
cheat.
Yep.
That's the one likable
Oh
character.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
can see that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he showed up to every game. He was
Yeah.
a good dad.
Yeah.
He and the mom should have gotten together
Yeah.
because they're in the bleachers all the time.
There was an age gap there.
But seriously though, but they had way more physical contact than she did with Emilio. Like, I just think that they should have been dating. Anyway,
I
continue.
second that.
They have so much in common. Their kids both played hockey.
Yeah. I mean, we never saw a mom for the other guy, so it could be a single parent too.
I love that they actually answered whoever asked, do these kids ever go to school, by actually
Oh, that
including a
was me.
school scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they never answered where Emilio Estevez was going at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
where was he going?
He had a driver. Why was he in a bus? Or did the driver come
That
with
was the one time the driver wasn't in the scene. Was it like the season was over and he's like, "You're fired"?
We must have like given up on the movie and missed a line.
We must have missed something.
I imagine that like the driver was provided by the law firm.
That's what I
Yeah.
guessed too.
But then he was still around after.
Why did he go to the game? Maybe just for fun because he was emotionally
Because he's
invested.
the best character
he was
in the
there
movie.
for the kids, and after the season, he was like, "Fuck you, Emilio," and like,
Yeah.
he wasn't hanging out.
It's unknowable.
Because he was like,
information.
Emilio.
We will never go back and find out. Okay, so my review of this movie, it's fuck this movie. It was very bad, and I never want to see it again, or anything with, honestly, anything with Emilio Estevez ever again.
You got to see Minute Work though. Minute Work's really good.
If you work it into doing the podcast, then yes.
Also, Breakfast Club. Also,
Oh,
Young
yeah.
Guns. Come on, Young Guns.
I've
Mission
never seen-
Impossible. Well,
Wait, is he a young kid in Breakfast Club?
yeah, they're all high school.
Oh wow.
I mean, he's not like a little kid. He's,
He's
high
like
school.
the
He was like the
the
football
popular,
jock.
Yeah,
Right?
oh
popular
huh.
guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's Young Guns? I don't even know what that is.
Really? It was like Billy the Kid, but as like 20 somethings. So you've got your Lou Diamond Phillips and a bunch of those. I can't remember everybody, but it was like younger cowboy guys.
Huh.
Hmm.
It's kind of a Billy the Kid movie. What?
I was gonna ask if it's anything like The Naked Gun.
No. It's would be really interesting for the podcast. I think I remember it being really, really good.
Okay, add it to the list.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Huh.
Okay.
He's one of them young guns.
I don't watch Tombstone. If we're gonna do a cowboy,
I saw
movie.
Tombstone recently and it was really good.
I've never seen it.
I've never seen it either.
So many better movies than the one we just
Thanks, Twitter.
It like only kind of had a little Home Alone thing. Like it did
Yeah.
have that same gag, but like
But that was pretty Home
Which
Alone.
gag?
The one in the beginning
The
with
sped up,
the sped
and they're
up
chasing.
and
I
the
would
crotch
say
shot.
that was not stolen from Home Alone. That was stolen from A Christmas Story.
is that
The-
it?
Oh, the
fast
sped up.
speed
Yeah.
thing? Yeah.
But the falling down and hitting his balls shot,
Oh,
that is directly pulled from Home Alone for
Well,
sure.
but like from like
And-
every kid's movie
That's
because
true.
that's
and
Yeah.
that's when I knew it was confirmed that this was a shitty movie.
But the
We're watching,
freaking-
first
we're watching
3
a ball
minutes.
hit movie.
Yeah.
Then I'm done.
what was it, that show? Ouch my balls.
Yeah, it's the worst, lowest form of comedy. The
Yeah.
ball hit. I'm done with you if you put a ball hit in your movie.
That's the opposite of Christopher Walken and boobs.
Yes, ball hits are the antithesis of boobs in every way possible.
All right, Brett. Sorry. Are you done? You're just done.
I'm done. I was done at fuck this movie.
Yeah, Ash, what do you think?
Oh yeah, fuck this movie. Oh yeah, this is not good. Not good. I don't understand why I liked it as a child. I'm trying to see it.
I think you're remembering Mighty Ducks too.
I
It
think so
must
too.
be.
Like I
think-
looked up the cover and I recognized that cover.
Yeah, because I didn't recognize the cover of this one.
I think this movie is more enjoyable if you don't understand the concept of gerrymandering.
Right.
I don't know that it would help.
But yeah, that's
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah, for me, it was everything was confirmed. There are many, many flaws in this movie, and the greatest sin is that it was just boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I am shocked at how boring and mundane it was. Like the writing was so much worse than I thought. There was no like huge. There were huge glaring story flaws, but not like enough to laugh at it. Like the substitute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like at least that was bad, but it was like laughably bad. This was sad and boringly bad.
Mhm.
Like,
And
ugh.
I'd like to think that if you really like sports, maybe you'd be more into this. But somebody else pointed out, like, how did they even make it into the finals? They only won like 2 games or
They
something.
only show
Because
a
the Panthers
couple
got
of
measles.
But
Yeah.
like, that's still out of like that board of 10.
Yeah.
Like, how did they get to that point?
I bet with I bet with Pee-wee, it's a lot easier to get into the finals.
Probably.
Yeah.
I found myself thinking, this is a high-scoring game for hockey, but it's Pee-wee. So I
Oh.
think that sort of shit happens. You know, it was kind of nice to see that for a few minutes there towards the end, they just let the game play. And if you were interested in hockey, you probably would have just enjoyed watching hockey for a minute.
But I don't know anything about hockey, but I'm just gonna assume that like the plays they called are just battleshipping for hockey.
Oh yeah, I
Like-
did.
Oh yeah, the flying V
What the
thing
fuck is
was
the
just-
flying? Yeah,
It was written by an 8-year-old. It's like, oh, they're ducks. Let's do something that relates to ducks. That was a
Yeah.
scene written by an 8-year-old.
They didn't even like set it up properly.
Yeah.
They just
he gave a speech about it.
It would have
Ugh.
been better if it was like this cool move
yeah.
that they kept practicing and that
couldn't
they
get it
finally
right.
like
Yeah.
But no, it was just like
They were trying to do the crane kick, and failed
Or
miserably.
Yeah.
the girl just spinning wildly with her stick, being a hazard to everyone on the ice. Like that's not a play.
Mhm.
I did kind of like their Statue of Liberty play, where everybody's afraid of this guy taking the strong shot,
oh yeah,
and then
they
he
faked
just,
out.
Yeah.
just faked it out.
Yeah.
It's kind of good.
That was
I mean, at least that made sense.
yeah. I didn't like how every time he took a strong shot, everyone else just dipped out of the way.
They just cringed.
Yeah, and then it like made the goals that they did get feel very unearned because all the other players just ran out of the way.
Well, I'm pretty sure like he actually killed a goalie in that movie. Like he hit the thing so
Brett,
hard.
Stop wishing that kids die.
I'm not wishing. He killed that kid. He never got back up. That was the end of the game. They cut away.
And in his defense, like, you know, Adam Sandler saw it and made an entire movie about it.
This is true.
It's just that was the origin story of Happy Gilmore.
Yep. So Sam, what did you think?
Oh yeah, it was bad, real bad.
Just done.
Yeah.
All right, so that's Mighty Ducks. That was a terrible movie. The next episode that you listen to will be based on a good movie.
Do you wanna? Are you sure you wanna?
We're gonna go into it. We're gonna go into a movie that I think is good
Okay.
next time.
All right.
Let's rewatch.
All right. If you like the show, this is part of the Last Stash TV network of content. We have a YouTube channel in addition to the podcast. It's got video game parodies and a cooking show and a drinking show.
A cookie show.
A cookie show.
Cookie show.
Actually, we do make cookies.
Yeah, and we have finally released that thing I've been talking about forever.
Yeah.
So the Fallout 4 parody is out, guys. Follow us at Laughstash TV, or you can follow this podcast at Let's Rewatch. And the new thing we've been doing is I've been tweeting polls so that
You guys get to choose which movie we do next.
And fuck you for choosing Mighty
Yeah.
Ducks.
Thank you all. We could have watched Men in Black.
Yeah, everyone who voted on that last Twitter poll, fuck you.
No, take it back. And if you liked our podcast, please give us a review on iTunes or Google Play.
And make sure to keep your subscriptions up to date. We'll be back in another 2 weeks for another episode of Let's Rewatch.
Next week, we watch Dr. T and the Women.
what? And
Why
the
have I
women?
heard of that?
I don't know.
Who's in that? Tell me who's in that.
But it's not Mr. T, it's Dr. T.
Dr. T, he's gone to college. He got his doctorate.
I didn't go through 8 years of woman's school for this.
I pity a gynecologist.